Hello there and welcome back. So in this video I am going to show you how you can measure the distance between elements and also between an anchor points as well. So here I have prepared one project, or basically one frame. So as you can see, this is just one simple home frame that does contain other different elements inside, as well as other different nested frames as well. So as you can see here, we have a simple circle, then those rectangles, then nested frames which contains some other elements inside, as you can see, like that, and some other rectangles as well. Now, in order to measure the distance between each and every element or each and every frame within this home frame, we need to use the Alt key. So if you select one of those elements from here, or even the whole frame, and hold down the Alt key, then whenever you hover over on a certain element or a frame, then those measurement guidelines will immediately appear. So now, as you can see, we have selected our home frame, and whenever we hold down the Alt key and move our mouse cursor on some of those elements, then we are going to calculate the distance between our selected element to those elements that we hover over, right? We can of course select some other elements, for example this nested frame, and from this nested frame we can just press and hold the Alt key to just measure the distance between some other elements and even the parent frame. So if you want to measure the nested elements distance, for example, as you can see here, we have our nested frame. You need to hold down the Control, and when you hold down the Control, you will be able to select one of those elements inside a nested frame, and then you just need to hold down Alt key, and you will be able to calculate or measure the distance inside a frame or a nested frame, right? So it's pretty much simple. You just need to use basically the Alt key to measure and see how much space you have between each and every element. There you go. So that's how it works. Now the next thing I'm going to also show you that you can actually measure the distance between each and every anchor point as well. So now this is actually the frame number 2, and we can of course hold down the Control key on our keyboard to actually access those nested elements. Of course, we don't have to hold down the Control key on our keyboard if we want to access some elements within some nested frames or groups. What we can do, we can also just go to our Layers panel right here. We can click this little drop down arrow, and then from there we can access all those elements, right? So that's one way, of course. The second way is to just basically select this whole frame and then press Enter key. And after you press Enter, then this actual frame will open up, and you will be able to access all those nested frames or nested elements, right? Now, what we can do, we can also now press Enter on this star shape, and we will be able to enter this view where we can see all those anchor points, right? So now what we can do, we can also select one of those anchor points, for example, maybe this one. And now if I hold down the Alt key and move my cursor to some other anchor points, or basically anywhere inside this shape, then I will be able to basically see the actual measurement distance between each and every anchor point within this shape, right? So that's also one interesting thing that you can actually calculate very easily. And that's pretty much it, right? So you have seen a couple of different examples of how we can do that measurement, and it's quite easy. So basically just by using the Alt key. Alright, so if you have any questions about this specific topic, then feel free to comment down below, and for this video that will be all.